I know, but
You can have it. I don't mind. Fine.
okay. Here.
We're not in this room vacuuming.
Okay, let's go vacuum in your room, okay? Oh, where are they?
Oh.
You got it? You got it? Where are you at?
Headphones.
On your wallet, Ziggy?
Not sure. Good morning, guys. How is everybody? Good morning. Hi, hey Emma. Hey Molly. Hey Al. Hey Hey Denisha. Hey Madeline. Hey Trish. Hey Melly. Hi guys. Hey Holly. Hey Cami. Good morning, guys. Hey Serenity. Hey Mom. Oh, don't you cute? Thanks, Mom. Yeah. Well, today is Monday, isn't it? Beginning of another week of this quarantine life and this growing life, this learning life, this digging in life, this. Oh, hey, friend. Ah, Shirley. Hi, Zoe. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Richard. Well, guys, happy Monday to you as well. Happy Monday at the beginning of another week of quarantine. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing okay. You can hear my kids in the background. We have started doing some chores because Milo's 4, and we're like, I think that chores at 4 years old work, and Ziggy copied everything Milo does. So vacuuming has become a chore, and folding his laundry, and putting it in his top drawer. That is where we're at so far, but we're calling it a win. Anybody else have any wins this last weekend? Man, well, I am really thankful that God only sees our wins. He doesn't really call us out on our losses. He doesn't shake his fingers at us. He just calls out our wins, and he's giving out gold stars all the time to you and to me, and helping us do what we do. And I was really reminded this weekend that calling out to God isn't a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of being connected. And the more that you call out, the more connected you are, right? And I want you to remember that as you go into this week, that calling out to the Lord is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of connection. And the more we call out, the more we say, I need your help. The more we say, good morning, Holy Spirit, I'm here. What do you have? The more connected we are. And it really comes down to that. It comes down to our choice of how connected we want to be and how much we want to choose to live in step with Him, because He is always present and we're not always present to Him. And the unchanging part of that equation is Him. God is not moody. He doesn't come and go. Holy Spirit is ever present, always there to lean on. But we don't always choose that posture. And I just wanted to encourage myself and encourage you guys as we go into another week to see this as a chance to lean on Him and to access Him at all times, to really get comfortable with hearing Him and talking to Him. If we could come out of quarantine with a stronger attachment to the Lord and a stronger attachment and awareness of the Spirit, then we will have really used our quarantine time to the full. And I really wanted to focus in on this verse that I read this morning that was just so killer. It's in Isaiah, and I'm reading out of the Message. And I read it in a couple of translations, and it's really different in all the translations, but the heartbeat of it is the same. It's really just a promise that I want to grab hold of at the top of the week, and I want to bring this promise into my week, right? Because that's how we do this. That's what Bible study really means for me. That's what verse of the day means for me. It means taking my promise of the day, maybe I should call it that instead, taking that promise and applying it to my situation and letting His presence give me new perspective. Because I don't know about you, but even when I wake up in the morning and I have a cup of coffee, it takes a minute for me to grab hold of His perspective instead of my own. Because it's tough, right? We wake up and it's like, okay, a bit of overwhelm maybe sets in. It's the beginning of another week. I don't know what your morning's like, if your kids are at home with you, if you're by yourself, if you're in the middle of loneliness, whatever you're already in the middle of in those first little bits of the morning can really become our reality unless we change that perspective shift has to sort of happen for me in the morning. So I have to shift from my perspective to grab hold of his. I have to acknowledge how I'm feeling, but then realize that that's a true feeling, but I need his truth to inform my feeling. I need his perspective to help shape mine. I need his promises to be applied to my situation. So if I'm feeling down and I'm feeling stuck in my emotions, then I can remind myself that even if my emotions are changing, his promises don't change, and that's my footing. That's my solid ground. Anybody ever feel like they're just not on solid ground? Like you just feel like, stuck in your head a little bit? The way to grab hold of solid ground is to just grab hold of his promises and just let that be the foundation. It doesn't mean that your emotions and your feelings aren't real. It just means that even though that's a true way to feel, that's true how you're feeling, his truth is the solid ground that we build upon. And that doesn't change. So this verse is a really good one for this. Isaiah 40. And I'm going to start in just a little bit down, probably about verse 28. It says, God doesn't come and go. God lasts. That's so comforting. God doesn't come and go. God lasts. Man, our feelings come and go. Our emotions rise and fall. We have wins, we have losses. We feel these roller coaster rides of emotions, but God, thank you that you don't come and go, you last. He's creator of all we see and all we imagine. He doesn't get tired out. Doesn't get tired out. You are never too needy for him. Never too needy for the Lord. He doesn't pause to catch his breath. He knows everything inside and out. So he knows you right now in this moment, inside and out. Inside and out, he knows you. He knows what you're feeling. He knows if your breath is labored and tight this morning. He knows if you are overwhelmed. He knows what happened yesterday that tripped you up. Coming back and try and trip you up again today. So he wants you to equip you for that. He knows you inside and out. He energizes those who get tired. Anyone tired out? He's got it for you. He gives fresh strength to the dropouts. Did you feel like you kind of dropped out of the game at all last week? You feel like you just kind of were like, I think I'm good. I think this is just, I'm done. Anyone having those moments? Don't worry. He sees you. He knows you. And he's there for you because that's what he tells you. Give strength to the dropouts. For even young people tire and drop out. Young folk in their prime stumble and fall. But those who wait upon God get fresh strength. They spread their wings and soar like eagles. They run and don't get tired. They walk and don't lag. So what is the key to getting strength even in the middle of our tired, in the middle of our dropout, in the middle of our stumbling and our falling? The key to our strength is finding hope in the Lord and waiting on him. It's waiting on him. And that's what we do this morning. And I can feel it even as I do this with you, as I wait on the Lord and as I let him replace my perspective with his. Oh man, because my perspective is being totally personal, making it personal and sharing my place with you today. It's just like yesterday was a tough one for us. It had a lot of good moments, so many good ones, but sometimes the tough ones pile up a little quicker. Things that should be little, but you have a couple little tough ones in a row, they just feel big. And there are a few moments. My kids picked flowers out of one of our neighbors' yards without me noticing. I was out front of our yard and I was doing a run and I turned around and I had turned my head for like 10 seconds and they had picked some flowers right out of the neighbor's yard, and it was not the best moment. And our sweet neighbor, who is not having a sweet time in quarantine and was not really in a place to roll with it, was not happy. And so that was a moment, and we apologized and we felt bad, and we're going to go over there and bring her some flowers and a thank you card today. So that I felt like a bit of a mom fail in that moment. Felt like, wow, that's on me, because they're 2 and 4. So we talked about it. We made some new boundaries, tried to have some grace for myself, but felt like a bit of a failure in that moment. So failure number 1, right? And then number 2, while they picking those flowers. It was in the middle of pretty tall grass, and Ziggy got a tick. Felt like a bit of a failure number 2, and I recognized that, you know, we have these moments sometimes. We just feel like failures. The truth is I'm not a failure, but the feeling I had was that I was. And so I was living in my failure reality because that was the story I was telling myself for most of the afternoon. And anyone else have that anytime this weekend? Just, oh man, fail, right? But as I went for a walk with the Lord and just started talking it out with Chris, called my mom and my sister, and just like had a laugh about it. Not that it's funny about the flowers, but sometimes you just gotta laugh, right? Like you gotta be like, well, that happened, and not proud of it, but you gotta have a little laugh. and then you gotta accept. I had to accept that I'm not a failure. I'm just feeling like one. But the truth is that He doesn't see me that way. He sees me as someone He's never going to give up on, someone that He's never going to get tired of helping, somebody that my identity is fixed in Him, not my failures or my wins. That is not who I am. So I just have to have a moment of going, you have grace for me in big moments and small, and I can either live in my failure bubble for the rest of the day and carry it into my week, or I can accept your grace and I can move forward and I can move on. And obviously I'm still doing that because I'm talking to you about it. But those are the choices that we have. We can get stuck in our emotional states. We can get stuck in our moods. And that's our choice. We can stay there as long as we want to stay there. Or we can remind ourselves in those moments of our verse of the day. We can go back to His word. We can talk to Him and hear His voice, saying, yeah, I see you. I was with you when that happened, right? Because I see, what does it say here? He knows everything inside and out. So He's like, yeah, Jode, I was with you when those flowers were picked, and I had a little chuckle too. Not the best moment, but hey, I'm not tired of helping you. So just ask for my grace, receive it. It's there for you. It's done. It's already there to help you move on. Take it and let that replace the failure feelings you're having, because I don't think you're a failure at all. You're just learning and you're growing, and I'm with you every step of the way. So these are these little things, right? And I recognize how small that these are in the big scheme of things. But after trying to pull out that tick out of Ziggy's neck for like 2 hours last night, and it's like bleeding on the back of his neck, and it's in his hair, and he has more hair than me. So it was right there, and we tried to grab it. It was the first tick we've ever had, so we have no experience with this before. And I could see it. Chris found it, because Chris checks them every day because they play so much outside. And he could see it right on the top there, but I kind of tried to pull it, and when I pulled it, I didn't get it all. It got irritated and it dug in so fast, and so we got some of it out, but not all of it. And so anyway, it's going to be okay. Our pediatrician's incredible. I've been texting with her, and it's going to be fine. But that was another moment at the end. That's how we ended our day. It was just like, one of those days where I was like, I'm so sick of quarantine. I'm so sick of these little things that feel like big things, but it's okay. We're in this together. There's highs and lows, and there's always something that's going to try and get us down every single day. But we can expect that, right? If the time that we set ourselves up for failure is when we go into the week expecting it to be perfect and expecting ourselves to be perfect. When we can let go of that pressure and go, I'm not perfect. This week is going to be good and bad and ugly and everything in between. But the truth is that you last. You don't get tired out. You don't need to stop to catch your breath. But when I need to stop and catch my breath, I know that you can hold me. You're not tired of holding me, right? He doesn't get tired of you asking for help. He doesn't get tired of you needing Him again and again and again. He just wants you to come and stay connected, right? And so take it from me, and my mom fails yesterday, that you're not too much for Him. You're not too much for Him. I want you to hear that right now. You are not too much for Him. Maybe you've been made to feel in your life like, oh man, she's a lot, or ooh, he's I can only take so much of him, you know. We've all felt like that from time to time, but you are not too much for Him. So just go to him over and over as many times as you need to, because God doesn't come and go. God lasts. He created you. He gave you your imagination and your dreams. He made you to feel the things you feel. He created us with these feelings. He knows that we have ups and downs. He knows that these things happen. He knows that. He made us to need him, right? So he knows you inside and out. He energizes you when you get tired. He gives you fresh strength when you want to quit, when you want to drop out. He is your fresh strength. Those that wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They can run and not get weary. They can walk and not lag behind. Here's the thing. Do you know that lagging behind or being ahead, neither one of those are where we're meant to be. We're meant to live like this with the Spirit and in step. And it's all it's an inside thing, right? It's not about accomplishments and what we're doing and getting those gold stars and getting ahead. It's winning the day is being in step with him in the day. Not piecing out and dropping out, but also not being a step ahead. It's being in step with him. And so I just pray at the beginning of this week for you that that's what you could cling to. And that's where you would work from, just being in step with him. Let him fill you up again fresh this morning with these promises. Let these be the nourishment that you feed on all day. Let this be the hope that bubbles up from deep inside, not hope and strength and highs based on like cool shoes you bought online or little highs and lows that you get that come and go. May this be an everlasting hope that's right here all the time, waiting to bubble over the surface. Hide these words in your heart today. Rely on them when you need them. Grab hold of them when you need them. And just remember, you are not too much for him. You're not too much for him. He loves you so much. And so just rely on him. He won't come and go. He's not moody. He's not an emotional God that loves you when you do great and then doesn't love you much when you fall short or you feel like you fall short. He doesn't look at you that way. He looks at you and he sees you and loves you like he loves Jesus. That's how he sees you. He sees you full of himself. So you have all you need today in him. So God doesn't come and go. He lasts. He wants to energize you. He never grows tired. He gives you strength when you want to drop out. He gives you that strength so you don't call it quits. So just dig in again this week. Dig into him. And hope this gave you a bit of extra skip in your stuff as you start your day. And I'm going to go hang with my kids. And oh, thank you, Sandra. You look pretty in pink. Well, that's very sweet. This is my new color this year. Did my nails in some pink. And sometimes I just need to do those things. Because I think, these little triggers, like doing my nails, made me feel super happy in the middle of my mom fail moments yesterday. And sometimes you just got to do that kind of stuff, right? So thank you guys. Thanks for being so encouraging. Thanks for all your tips. Oh, Milo, that is that's my hat. You want to show everybody your hat? I wore this hat on the Christmas tour a couple years ago. I think it looks better on you than on me. That is a really good hat. You guys like the hat? Looks pretty good, right? Well, no more ticks. I agree. I'm with you. Anybody need prayer for anything this morning before we jump off? I'm happy to pray as we jump into our week. And thank you guys again for...
I want you to spray.
You want me to wear it? Okay, I can put it on. There we go. What do you think?
And your head is pretty big.
My head's pretty big. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Pretty big head. I think it looked better on you. We cut Milo and Ziggy's hair. Doesn't look that much shorter, but you can see now, right, love? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Especially because we're going to go scooting today, so you got to be able to see to go scooting, right? Yeah. Okay, well, let's pray. God, thank you so much for everybody. Thank you for Milo and Ziggy. Thank you that that tick is going to come out on the surface and that we're going to get it out of him. Thank you that even when we feel like failures, that's not the truth of who we are. You don't see us that way. And you are always there to give us strength. You never run out on energy and equipping us you last. You don't change. We're never too much for you. And we hold on to that as we go into this week. Thank you that we're never too needy. We never have too many requests. In fact, you've made us to need you, just like Milo needs me. And it makes me feel so good when he needs me. That's how you feel when we come to you. It makes you feel so good. It makes you feel closer to us. We feel closer to you and more intimately connected when we bring our needs to you. That's where intimacy comes from. If we never ask for anything, if we never admit that we need you, then we...
You have a hole.
Oh, there's a hole in there? Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's an old hat. So, Jesus, thanks for my friends online, and thank you that you are equipping them with everything they need for today, because you see everything, and so you've gone ahead and you're ready to give every single person what they need for today. Thank you that you love us so much and that you're with us. Help us to be present to you as you are always present to us. Love you guys. Have an awesome day. Thank you for continuing to support the book. I threw up the link in the top of this, and I'm just blown away. Just always want to tell you thank you, because every single day more and more of you order the book, and that makes me so encouraged. And we just really, really appreciate you so much, and can't wait to get these books in my hands so I can sign them and send them out to you. And I think we only have 300 Jody King CDs, and I think we have like 280 pledges at this point. So there may be like 20 CDs left. So if you buy a book today, you'll probably still be able to grab the Jody King CD for free. We're going to throw that in with the package. And yeah, just wanted to say thanks again for being on this journey with me and with us. And oh, Julie, you know what? The link is not, YouTube sessions don't let me put the link on the top, but you can just go onto our YouTube channel and the Kickstarter video is there, and you should be able to find it there. Thank you guys. Love you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. Love you. Bye.